Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and as you can see from my title, I've made a new series. It's a JOJO game series. You probably thought that I'm only gonna be doing one series, but nah, I'm bored with the combat series. And making scripts on the combat series is like 50 times harder than this series, because my combat series uses client-sided animations, so it's like so fucking hard to make. Alright, so I'm gonna be making a custom stand. It's a monkey stand. So once you've got your model ready, make sure you delete the humanoid. I'm gonna change the color real quick. And if you have an accessory, also let me remove these shirts. Also, if you have an accessory, accessories don't work for non-humanoids, so you have to use manual welding. Hold on. You have to weld it manually. So yeah, let me get this out of my accessory and delete them. I'll rename this to banana, and I'll rename this to monkey face, or just face. I'll add a weld, change my part 0 to my banana, and change the part 1 to my torso. Oh nah, it's messed up. Well, let's use weld constraint now. Hold on, what the fuck happened? Oh nah, it's messed up, bro. Yeah, I'm just gonna use weld constraint, my bad. Banana monkey. Wait. Well, let's remove this and get this outside of the accessory, and remove these accessories, add in weld constraint. I'm gonna change the part 0 to my handle and part 1 to my torso. Rename this to banana, and I'm gonna add a constraint too. Constraint, weld constraint. Part 1 to my head, part 0 for my face. Rename this to face, and then change the color for everything else. Alright, now that we've got my model, let's make the animation. Oh yeah, let's rename this to stand, and make sure you turn on maskless. That's the reason why I made this a non-humanoid. It's because I need to turn off can collide and turn on maskless for every part. But if this was a humanoid, then we can't change the can collide for the humanoid part, so that sucks. That's why we need to destroy the humanoid. Alright, now that we've made our model, let's make our animation. But I already got my animation ready. So for your animation, make sure you turn on toggle looping animation, and then add an animation priority. Go to here, click on the triple dot. Hold on. Click on the triple dot, and then set animation priority into idle, and then export this. And then copy the ID. Also, if you want a tutorial on how to make good animation idols, there's a video from Steve on tips on how to make stand idols. Here's this video. Hold on. There it is. Let me See, this is from Steve of Steve. I'll link this video down below in the description since this video is really good. Alright, so let's make the scripts. Add in a local script and start character scripts. Local script. Add in a normal script and server script service. Add a remote event and replicated storage. I'm gonna name this to summon. Name this whatever you want. We're gonna make a user input service variable. Game get service. User input service. We're gonna use this to detect our inputs. Then remote variable. Game replicated storage. Wait for child. Just in case the remote hasn't loaded yet, and put in your remote name. UIs dot input began connect function. Once you click on a key on your keyboard or a mouse, it'll fire this event and connect to this function. There are two parameters, key and typing or game processed. So if you're typing, then I'm gonna stop the script or interacting with the UI. Then we're gonna check if the key you're pressing is Q. If keycode equals to anim dot keycode dot Q, you can change this to whatever you want. I'm gonna change this to Q. Then remote fire server. It's gonna broadcast the remote to every single server script. And I'm not gonna put in any parameters, but rename this to summon client. Oops, it's fun. And then summon server. Right. Let's make a remote event variable. Remote equals game or replicate storage. Wait for child. Remote. Summon. There is an event called summon. Remote dot on server event. The event will fire when it receives the broadcast from the client, and then put in the player parameter. Oh yeah, I forgot to add in the function. And then there's a player parameter. It's default parameter even though we didn't put in any parameters. The player parameter is our player object inside of here. Local character equals player character. And then let's make a function for stand something. Local function summon. Put in a character parameter. Local humanoid root part. Local root part equals character dot humanoid root part. And then the stand. Local stand. Oh yeah, let's put in the stand inside of server storage. Local stand equals game dot server storage. Your stand name stand. Make your stand name stand right away. And clone. It'll clone this stand, but it won't be printed anywhere. So let's print this to our character. And then change the root part C frame, and now let's make a stand root part variable equals stand dot primary part. The primary part of the stand is the humanoid root part. And then let's change the stand root part C frame to our root part C frame. Stand root part dot C frame equals root part C frame. So C frame is basically a combination of position or orientation. We change the C frame of the root part because when you change the position of the root part, everything will follow. As you can see, the arm also follow the root part. So yeah. And then we're gonna need to make the stand and our character stick together. So let's use a weld. Instance.new weld. Change the parent of the weld to our stand. Equals stand. Weld at part 1, the main part of the weld, which is our root part. And then the thing we're sticking to, which is the stand root part. Alright, this should work. And then let's make an unsummon function. Look at unsummon local function unsummon character local stand equals character dot stand and stand destroy. It'll delete the stand. Alright, let's do something like this. Local stand equals character find for child stand. It's gonna check if I have a stand or not. So if I don't have a stand, so if I have a stand, then it's gonna unsummon my stand. If I don't have a stand, then it's gonna summon my stand. Oh yeah, I forgot to put in the parameter. And it should have been summon instead of unsummon. Summon character and character. Oh yeah, it should have been weld parent and stand parent. At the end, oops. Oh, I don't think it's anchored, so there must be a weld. See, okay, let's delete this. Okay, that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. Let's see if this works. Right, this works, but it's right inside our character, so I'm gonna make this a bit outside of my character by using the welds C1 and C0, but I don't need to use the C0, I just need to use the C1. So this is how welding works. So welding is my character root part and my stand root part. This is the C0 and C1. So how welding works is that it'll align these attachments and it'll make them stick together, something like this. So to change the offset, we need to change the C1 or C0, but in this case we're going to change the C1. So let's change the C1 position, -1 and -2. Then let's align these as well. It'll look something like this. So it'll look something like this. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna change the C1 weld dot C1 equals cframe.new 2 -1 and -2. Alright, this looks good. It's outside of our character and the unsummon also works. So now we're gonna be using Tween Service for my stand. I want my stand to go from my inside my character and then outside my character, and there's gonna be a transition, so I want to do that. Okay, so this is how tweening works. Let's say I want my part to go to this part position. Instead of tipping the part immediately, Tween Service makes it go this way smoothly, like an animation or something. So let's use Tween Service. To do that, we're gonna make a service called ts equals game get service. We need to get the service, Tween Service. So Tween Service has a function called create. It's to create a tween, and it has a few parameters: our instance that we're tweening, the info, and the property that we're changing. So let's make the info tween info equals tween info.new, few parameters, the duration, the using style, the using direction, the repeat count, and I don't know what these are, I forgot. So the duration, I'm gonna make the duration 0.3 seconds. Using style, I'm gonna make this quad. Using direction, I'm gonna make this out. And then let's do something like this. Let's make our character inside of, let's make our stand inside of our character, and then make it pop out. ts create our instance, which is the weld, the info, the property table, c1 equals, there we go. And let's do the same thing for the transparency. I want my stand to be transparent and then fully visible. Let's loop through our stand using a for loop, an in pairs loop, or iv in pairs stand. Get the sentence. Get a sentence basically gets the children of the children and so on and so forth. Gets every single child inside of our stand. Do so it will loop through everything, right? And we're gonna check if V is a part or not. If it is a part, then we're gonna change the transparency to 1. Oh yeah, don't forget to play this Tween Service. Then let's do the same thing except for changing the transparency to 0 with tweening. Change this to V, which is the part, and change to transparency and 0. Do the same for the unsummoning. Logo weld equals stand.weld. The weld is inside our stand. Create and then change the C frame to 0, 0, 0. And make this a variable local weld tween equals. So that's why so we made it a variable because we need to access the what is it called again? An event called weld tween dot completed connect function destroy. So it's going to destroy the stand once the tween is completed. Let's do the same thing for transparency. Let's copy paste this, except we're going to change the transparency to 1. I forgot to add in curly brackets. Alright, this works. And I forgot to play the weld tween play. Okay, let's play. Let's see if this works. It'll probably will. Alright, this looks good, but this may look good and smooth right now, but when you tween in the server side and you play with a bunch of players and they summon your stand, the server might get laggier because Tween Service on the server, it makes your server laggy because it takes so much work. So that's why we're going to be using a module script that tweens on the client but changes the property once the tween is completed on the server. It's called Tween Service V2. I'm gonna link this in the description. So let's see it in action. This is the client. It tweens on the client, and on the server it just changes the position. So to get this module script, we're gonna go to the GitHub, go to Roblox Tweening, click on raw, copy and paste this. Alright, let's add in module script and replicate storage. Make sure to put this in set of replicate storage and service storage or service script service, because we need the client to have access to this. Let's rename this to Tween Service V2. Copy and paste this. So it's the same as Tween Service, but except for tween create, it uses tween get tween object. So we need to change that. To use Tween Service V2, we need to require the module instead of local script. We made a script in standard player scripts. I'm going to rename this to Tween Service V2 client, and all we need to do is require game.update storage dot Tween Service V2. That's all you need. Then change this from game.service tween service to require game.replicate storage dot tsv2. And then let's, instead of create, it uses get tween object. Let's replace everything. Get tween object, get tween object. But the thing is, this module doesn't have a dot completed event. So what we're gonna do is just do something like this: task dot wait .3. It's the same as wait, but it's better. Task dot wait, that is. and then stand destroy, since it doesn't have a dot completed event, and so I made it wait 0.3 seconds, which is my tween duration. So make it wait your tween duration and then destroy your stand. Alright, it works. Alright, so now that we've got our tween completed, let's do the animation. It's pretty simple. Just uses just a few lines on the script. Alright, let's go to my stand. Add in an animation controller. Not animation. Animation controller is used to animate non-humanoids, and add in your animation. Rename this to idle. Add a script. Animate. Add a folder for the animation. For all of these animation, put all of these in the folder so it's organized. Right, so now let's do some of this. Local script equals script.parent, which is the folder, .parent again, which is the model. Oops, not local stand, not script, stand. New folder, script.parent, local controller equals folder for child, controller, and then we do local and idle equals controller dot animation. We need to load the animation before playing it. Folder dot idle. We did with for child here because when you summon your stat, the animation controller probably won't load, since I did normal dot animation controller and it didn't work. So to wait for child just in case, and then just do something like this: idle, play. That's it. Just four lines of script. It's that simple. Alright, so hold on, the animation didn't play. Alright, so the animation didn't work because the animation controller doesn't have access to the model, to the parts. So let's put this outside of the folder, and let's do something like this. Local stand equals folder dot parent, and then stand over child animation controller. That should fix it. There we go, it works. Did the animation, did the tweening, did the welding. So I think that's all, but I might add in an aura though. Alright, so for the aura, you put in the aura in here and make sure disable it. Hold on, right there. Enable, okay, enable the false, and then do something like this. Local aura equals stand dot aura dot particle emitter clone. We're gonna do a for loop for our character. Hold on. Let me organize this something. Local character equals stand dot character. No, stand dot parent. Yeah. Then we're going to do something like this. For I part or V, it's up to you, in pairs. Doing an in pairs loop. Character, get descendants. Do. Basically do the same thing for the transparency, except we add the aura. If V is a part or v is a mesh part. We're also gonna do this on the other script. Mesh part, then alot.parent. Let's see. Also, let's do this for the other script. Since if we have a mesh, the script won't work for the mesh since it's not a part. But we don't have a mesh, so everything works fine. But let's do this for other stands as well, just in case we're gonna be using a mesh, you know. Oh yeah, I forgot to enable the aura. Hold on, let me enable the aura. And let's rename this to, let's put in the aura in this folder. Yeah, I want to name this aura equals folder.particle emitter, and aura.enabled equals true. This should work now. And aura dot doesn't work for spaces, by the way. You need to add square brackets. And remove the dot parent here because the script is outside of the folder. And yeah, that's it. Alright, this works. So this is it for this video, and see you next time.